But we must begin to understand that in a concept of forming inside our community a united front, a black united front, which engulfs every sector, every facet, and every person inside our community working for the benefit of black people.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness, there is no God but Allah, bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. Assalamu alaikum. Dear brothers and sisters, I'm very honored to be here this evening. I want to congratulate our Houston chapter of the National Black United Front, of course, and our national chairman, Brother Kofi Taharka, for 14 strong black years, putting on the Sankofa Caravan, return to the ancestors, and I believe that they deserve a round of applause. The Honorable Farrakhan had us to go to Ghana in 1994, where we celebrated what we call our Savior's Day Convention. It was in October 1994, commemorating the anniversary birth date of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. In going to Africa, in Ghana in particular, and seeing the artwork of our people in terms of Sankofa bird, with his head turned backwards, yet going forward or looking back. It was a therapeutic experience, in so much as when we, the blacks, stepped off the plane from America, we literally fell on the ground and was kissing the ground and were crying. The Ghanaians who saw us did not understand why we were reacting the way we were getting off the plane. In fact, I could see a couple of them looking at one another, going, talking, and looking at us, and pointing at us. But for us, it was therapeutic because we had set our feet on the land that we had been kidnapped from. Now, it was, as Brother Melchizedek says, it was our faith tradition or our organization that brought us there. But it was our common humanity, our Africanness, if you will, that connected us to that land, that regardless of how we might have been suited and booted and bow ties and bean pies or whatever we were doing, the experience of touching our feet on the soil of Africa absolutely broke down all our discipline. To see Muslim fall on the ground, I'm not talking about just in a formal making rakahs or making salat. I'm talking about straight up bawling, crying, snotting, and all that on the floor. I'm explaining that experience because I'm so happy to be a part of this is what a National Black United Front is all about. It's regardless of our faith traditions and how we express our faith, for us to find our common oneness. And in this case, in Sankofa, why? Because it's not about ancestor worship. A lot of times people make a mistake of thinking that our natural religions or our religions that come out of Africa that aren't Islam, Christianity, or Hebrewism or Hebrew religion, that somehow it's ancestor worship. No, it's venerating those who have gone before us because they paid a price for us to be where we are, and they laid the base for us so that we can know and point a way to the future. Let me put it like this. Brother Malcolm is paraphrasing a longer quote by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad when he says to us that of all of our studies, history is best qualified and most attractive to reward our research. That's a paraphrase of a very long statement the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave to his ministry class in 1934. But it's simply to tell us, brothers and sisters, if we don't know where we've been, we cannot understand how we got where we are, nor will we know how to go forward in the future. So this Sankofa is to go back and to remember those who've gone before us, because many of us don't know, for instance, Jeramogi, or Baby Ajaman, of the shrines of the Black Montana. We don't know anything about it. So now, even if we are aspiring leaders, we may make mistakes that he already has made. If we would take our time to know him, then we wouldn't make those mistakes, and we could carry our people and humanity forward without having made those mistakes. And so it's very important that we understand and recognize those who've gone before us, Imam W.D. Muhammad, and others, and what he has done, so that we don't have to reinvent that wheel. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, the Moorish Science Temple, and all of our others. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We've got their lives that have gone before us as examples so that we may take this struggle forward. The time is now. And I don't know how I'm supposed to conclude and this panel is supposed to go. I apologize for not being here to hear all of what you all have said, but I had an important conference call. But I wanted to make sure that I said I'm being inclusive of what everyone has said, and I hope and pray that I've embraced everything that what everybody said to show this kind of respect. And lastly, I say, this is a very interesting city, and the way that we have our formations in the city and how we can all sit on the panel and not be involved in that old, you know, my brother's bigger than your brother. My God's better than your God kind of conversation. But the question is, we all catching hell right now anyway. And so how do we help one another? What can I learn from this panel? So I'm anxious not only just to explain, but to be explained to, because there's something I can get from everybody up here. I'm always in the process of learning. So that being said, I relinquish the microphone and just say, let's get it on. So my faith tradition led me to Africa, to go to the slave dungeons, to experience what I experienced, to kiss the ground and put my feet on the soil of Africa, to pick up the sand from the beach, put it in a bottle, bring it back here to America, and to have gone through those slave dungeons, and to walk through the door of no return, and guess what? To tell our ancestors, I'm back. So that's what I'm saying. You know, I'm saying that.